play and it's being all unbalanced, then we'll take you guys on our squad, right? Or like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
What's up, support team Aaron? Quality. This is hi. I'm Aaron from the Twitch TV Quality Assurance team. Part of my job is to do random checkups on random streams to ensure that Twitch TV is working without an issue, and that you haven't had any problems with it recently. Here at Twitch, we recognize that it's not just the large scale streams that matter, it's the small streams that make up a huge part of our community. Do you have any problems you've experienced? Okay, this is epic, Aaron, and like, thank you for doing this. Like, this is above and beyond. If YouTube and Google would do this, wow, they'd be styling. Anyway, you're a great service. I love that. What I thought of today, actually, I was playing with some really good players. Like, I got some friends that we have to be on opposite teams and fight each other, or it's not fair. We'll just beat everybody up. So we were trying to get teams made so that we could fight each other fairly. But I think that my friends, they were watching my broadcast, and so even though there's like a little delay, they still can use it to see where I am, and like then they kind of know where I might be going. And like if like all of them are watching my broadcast, then they're all kind of like seeing
Screen peeking.
information. Yeah, they can all screen peek at their death or whatever. And so I think it would be nice to actually have a setting for that particular situation where I could choose to put a 10-second delay on my broadcast. That way they couldn't really use it for anything except to like see something awesome that I did 10 seconds later. I'd be like, hey guys, look over at 10 seconds and see something killer, which that's cool. I share Twitch with people I'm playing with that way. Like people in my party, I'll be like, hey, look over at the broadcast in a few seconds. Other than that, actually, for making highlights, I know it's disgusting, but sometimes I play for 12 to even 24 hours straight, and I broadcast that whole time. And then I want to make a highlight out of something, but the broadcast is so gigantic, it's hard to find my way through it, and it's hard to like finally adjust. It's too easy for me to skip over sections. I need to be able to like stretch out the timeline of the video so I have more control over maybe, I don't know. What I've started doing is I've started recording when I start, and then I'll record the time where something cool happened. But even then, it's messed. And then the last thing, you're asking the right person if you wanted helpful feedback, really. Like, I'm super nerdy, think about this stuff all the time. So the last thing I would like is, I would like to make it so when people join my Xbox Live party chat, that they are forced to choose to accept to include their audio in my stream, rather than me having to tell every one of them to go include your audio in the party. And then sometimes people say that they did, but they don't, and then they'll talk for 10 minutes and it'll be dead air, and I don't want that in my show, basically. Conversation, dead air. And I'm tired of having to like check and see if they actually did, and people leave and then they come back and you need to tell them again. I just would like to be able to set my party chat so that they have to agree to join, and they're agreeing to join the show, basically, be a panel member. And I like that I can make my Twitch broadcast labeled mature, so people can, know that I'm going to, cuss or say something that they, politically, or something about religion or something, because we talk about a lot of stuff here that they may not approve of. So I appreciate that you let me like kind of make it so that they know that something like that's going to happen. Now, what I'd like, I don't know if you got any clout, any way to like get the message. I would also like the ability in conjunction with the fact that I'm doing this broadcast, this show, I also want to make it so that when people join my Xbox Live party chat, it's a private party, and it is kind of part of the Twitch show, right? And I want to make it so that when they agree to include their audio, they're also agreeing to waive their rights to report anybody in the party for communication issues. I don't want people getting into an argument in my party over religious beliefs and then reporting each other, or getting mad at me and reporting me. You know, they chose to join. It's a private party. I feel like freedom of speech should be protected in that private party as long as they are made aware that they're joining an adult environment. And, you know, kids, I mean, you and parents, it's on, you know, the companies and the parents to keep the kids away from adults that might say toilet humor that you know, the parent doesn't want the kid to hear, or something like that. Most 10-year-olds are worse than me, by the way, but I don't think that it should be my responsibility to police the internet, and I don't like having to tell people all this stuff all the time. And I've even thought about making a YouTube video to be like, every new person that joins, hey guy, welcome, we're gonna have a good time, but please watch this YouTube video first. People be like, fuck you, man, like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, well, listen, like, I've had to tell thousands of people at this point to do X, Y, and Z, and you could just save me the breath. And like, fuck it, you don't want to watch it? I'm pulling it up on my phone and I'm playing it into the mic, so at least I don't have to say it, right? Like, I'm a weird case, I guess, because I invite randoms all the time. I'll just invite 40 people to the party chat all at once. And then if they've got a mic and they're not a kid and they're, you know, somewhat reasonable, I give them the spiel and I recruit them to be part of the show, and we have interesting conversations and good games, mostly casual play, but it's all about the conversations we have, really. So it's just, for me, I invite so many people and have to deal with new people so often that it's now becoming an issue to where every time I have to tell them the spiel, is what I call it, it's whatever, 30 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on the person and depending on what's going on, how many times you get interrupted in the party. Like, sometimes it can take a while. And then when you start adding that up with, I don't know, 6, 7 different instances of it in a day, well, now you've got a significant time drain. You're not playing and, like, you're not broadcasting anything. You're, like, telling people to include their audio and that sort of thing. So I would say that that's probably the most important thing. To be able to put a 10-second delay on it by choice to protect you from screen watchers in games. And then they can still actually be there and you don't have to do much else to fix that problem. And then making it so people give up their right to report anybody for communications if they join the party, and that's the only place they ever hear them is in a party. It's private and it's whatever, set up that way to be that way. It's really what all social media needs to start doing is, you know, if people want to live in a bubble, then they have a bubble setting, and I'll set my account to be very porcupine, thorny, rough, coarse person, and I'm going to say things that they aren't going to like, and they're going to get angry at a thought or whatever. So they need to set theirs to all bubbly and fake and conservative, basically. And then I'll set mine to all thorny and real, and then they'll never hear a single thing I ever say. I don't want to target this at kids or at, I don't know, like, I don't want people to have to do it all the time. The option basically isn't there. It's kind of a weird setting. But we need something to protect adults that are free thinking. Freedom of speech is important to us. We need to have space to do that. This isn't just where kids play, like Xbox, social media. You know, religion does not rule all existence, and their morality is not my morality, and not all people are the same, right? I mean, we can't expect everyone to be the same. I don't know. I look at all of this as almost public at this point. You got the internet in general is like public streets and a library, digital libraries of Alexandria, if you will. And then the people, we are kind of like the brain cells of the planet. We're passing around information. And any sort of stopping us from passing information freely and communicating and discouraging people from doing or saying what they need to stop doing, and you can't tell them something because you'll get banned from the public street or whatever. That needs to end. I feel like if people are so fragile that they can't take it, then they should have a setting to hide like a coward, because that's what they are. And I shouldn't be censored completely or lose my accounts or whatever because I speak my mind. You know, as if it's my fault for having a thought. It would be my fault if I didn't share it with anybody and then I died. All not saved will be lost, quoting Nintendo. Immortality is achieved by sharing your knowledge. I refuse to be silenced. That's why I'm Iron Curtain Mouth, by the way. I thought you were in here. Honestly, I was reading this. I thought it was going to be really funny that this was finally when it was going to happen, when you guys come in here and banhammer me for saying something about hookers and blow and Charlie Sheen for president or something like that, and that's not acceptable with the code of conduct or whatever. And so I end up getting banned, and then my voice is silenced in the world. And like, I'm already prepared for that. I've already told Google and YouTube what I'll do, and I'll tell you guys too what I do. Is that I have everybody add me on a separate social media that I never use for anything at all, except in the event that one of my accounts is banned. And then that's where they'll find out the new account that I've moved to. And I make a new account and I move all my following to that, and I continue to do exactly what it is that I was banned for 5 times harder. Like if you tell me I can't talk about hookers and blow, for example, and you ban me for it, I'll come back with a profile dedicated to talk about hookers and blow and do nothing but that for the next 6 months, and like bring all my followers and just be an even bigger problem with it. Because that's how much I loathe being told what to say. You know, victimless crimes, basically, morality, like, get off of me. Not your body, not your business. You know, you don't want to hear it, you can mute me, no problem. But like silencing me and taking away all the, you know, like, I have had a long career on video games, and if I wasn't in fear of having my primary account perma-banned for people reporting me for talking too much, or I dared to play improv guitar into a party chat and there was 2 people I didn't know and they report me, and like somebody attacks me and I defend myself verbally, and then them and all their friends report me because I win, because I'm smarter than them. And it's like public stonings to the point where my accounts get banned. This is a big problem. I'm laying all this at your feet. You're like, whoa guy, I wasn't in here for this, but I'm listening. So like, I get banned for this, and then I have to give up all my progress in my games. And if I was like building a following on Twitch, a lot of the times it slows me down a bit. And you know, it's I would be a very viral motherfucker right now if not for all of this trying to hold me down, not let me shine as brightly as I possibly can. I mean, yeah, I went to the Bob Saget School of Comedy. I'm a tactless blunder. I'm not child safety proofed. But at the same rate, that doesn't mean that I should be silenced everywhere I go. And really, like, I can't speak my mind on a street corner. You'll get, like, whatever. They'll just use loitering or disturbing the peace or inciting a riot or something, like, depending on what you're saying. They'll shut you up. And, shit, I know somebody who's on probation right now for loitering in a state. It's insane. At any rate, I end up taking this a little bit worse. So not only can I not speak on the street, I can't speak my mind on social media. I can't share my thoughts in a forum. And the whole world expects you to just let people live with their head in their ass too. You're never allowed to call anybody on any of it at all. And then if you do call them on it, they want you to have like a debate with them. And then you're like, no, I don't want to have a debate. I just told you what the most likely truth is. You can do what you want with it. But then they're mad that you won't play their game. Like a child angry that you won't play hide and seek with them, or you won't recognize their imaginary friend. And this is, adults do this. So it's everybody. It's a behavioral thing. And I swear, I'm the one that takes the brunt of this because I don't get along with the majority in the way that they would like me to get along. So I have to keep changing accounts. I got Iron Curtain Mouth. I got Prohibitorum the First, Prohibitorum Speak. I'm going to make Iron Cuntin Mouth. I'm going to make Iron Curtain You Plenty, or Curtain You Plenty. And eventually I'll just end up doing only a month of gold at a time and just changing profiles all the time so that I'm getting reported on different profiles. And either way, it slows me down, and it slows your money making down, because if you don't cater to my need to be Bob Saget School of Comedy meets Bill Nye the Science Guy who gets high guy, if you don't protect that, my art basically, then I can't build a following. And if I can't build a following, then I can't make you tons more money. So like, help me to help you here. And I'm telling you this, I told Google this, I give my advice to you guys, companies. I love this age. I love this connectivity, what we can do here. But this is basically human rights violations at this point, where companies overstep their bounds and can and can't say to protect mom and pop Republican or whatever. Like, okay, you know, I understand, I respect their want to have freedom away from intrusive thoughts. They want to hold on to whatever their beliefs, and they don't want smart people, silver-tongued devils, telling them the truth. Thing. I understand this, but I don't see how, like, just because I'm the minority doesn't mean that I'm still not valuable. I really do feel like the entire world, especially social media, devalues my existence, or really, it's kind of pathetic, and makes it so it's kind of like telling me that, well, if I want to speak my mind, I can. It's a free country, but you'll have to do it in a dark closet in your basement, and like make sure there's like soundproofing so it doesn't escape, and it's like that sort of thing. Minds.com doesn't ban anybody unless they share like porn pics without the mature thing a bunch of times. As long as you share it with the mature thing, and people have to like agree to see it, knowing they might see something, then they let them get away with it all they want. This is just a social media platform. You can do like the adult share with anything. Like if you're gonna cuss somebody out, you could label it adult, like you guys got the Twitch broadcast labeled so it's mature audiences or whatever. It's like that with every share, and they protect my right to freedom of speech, and other people can protect themselves from things they don't want to see all at the same time. And if I end up getting a guarantee that I'm not going to lose my Xbox Live profile, and a guarantee that I'm not going to get my Twitch broadcast banned, then I'll actually put a little more effort into my broadcast and use it more and look at it as something that will grow and I can keep. But the same way I've told YouTube is, you know, you want me to create content so that you can make money, and I do draw people in here. 500,000 views in like 3 months on a Google Plus profile. I get people's attention. But if they don't let me do it and they're going to ban me, then, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait until I find a place that'll allow me to be me, and then I'll take all of my followers, subscribers, friends, and move over there. And it's a matter of you guys react now before entrepreneurs fill up the niche, and once people have moved because you didn't act, then they're not coming back at that point, because now they're mad at you and they just want to stay where they're at. These are the guys that saved them from the tyranny, fascism. And that's happening. Like, I'm about ready to just get my own website and set it up that I can broadcast from my own website, and I'll just use like Twitch once in a while to recruit people, and I'll just use YouTube and Google and Facebook just to recruit people to my website, and all my content will be there. And that would be the extreme route. but I very well could. I've got enough things to offer intellectually, music, and gaming, and I could draw in a crowd. I can. So I can get help making a website. Been thinking about it a lot. I know some businessmen, I know some venture capitalists. So I could make my own gaming miscellaneous site, and I could get somebody to put up the money to help me do it. And I think about it, and I'm like, well, the platforms to do all this already exist, and it'll be ultimately quicker if I just tell you how to make it better. And I have other things that I can do that are more valuable for civilization. This is my hobby, and what I call the Xbox Live show. Rape, brain porn, mental masturbation. That's the other part of it. And I've been doing this a long time. But I do it for fun, and I got more important things to do than make a website in order to have free speech, or to be able to build a following that's permanent and continues to grow and gain capital or whatever. I would much rather that I just give you the answers, you listen to me, and you do it, and then we all make money. Like, you're not my boss, I'm not your boss, I'm not your customer, and you're not my customer. We really are kind of like, this is a joint venture, I would say, between Twitch and corporations and advertising companies and the people like me. So nobody is above anybody else in this situation. And I don't want to be an adversary. I don't want to try to have to make my own thing. Would much rather that we just cater to, bend a little bit here. Like, it's the future. The last nail in the coffin of this entire issue is that as a species, we have survived because of increasing awareness and sharing knowledge and protecting the tribe from dangers that we can see because of the awareness we share. Swarms get smarter the more of them number there are, and we are the same. And to inhibit the flow of knowledge, whether it be arbitrarily labeled positive or negative, it's irrelevant, because you're still making it harder for us to be aware, which is a danger to our survival as a species. The internet is one of the most powerful awareness tools that we've ever manifested. Fucking printing press doesn't have shit on the internet. YouTube makes the Library of Alexandria look like a child's collection of crap. Like, maybe it doesn't, that's a very bad analogy. Library of Alexandria was still epic, but really, if all those librarians in the Library of Alexandria could see YouTube, they would never go back. I mean, obviously, it's superior in so many ways. This point, to censor anyone, I feel is a crime against our species or humanity itself, whatever humanity is, pretend like we know. Consciousness itself. We're ever transmuting forms of consciousness, passing the torch of knowledge. The cup runneth over. And I'm trying to help the world, I am. But being the modern day witch and being publicly stoned in numerous ways for being different, smarter, whatever, have some ability that many people don't have, then you end up getting attacked a lot. You do. There's just no way around it. History repeating itself. It's divergence in our species, or this divergence in the biosphere of life. I wonder if this support team guy is still here listening to all this. It's funny. Probably not, but it's worth a try. Plead my case to somebody who would tell somebody about it, and like, I mean, shit, show this. I'll make this into a highlight, support team, Aaron, and I will, that way you'll have a small clip of me telling you this stuff that you can just share with your people. That way you don't have to try to repeat this mountain of shit I've said to you. And then I guess another thing while I'm doing this, might as well add that you need to look at it as that we're doing most of the work and you guys are getting to make tons of money off of us doing a lot of work for you. And like, again, we could have our own websites or something, and soon there will be other alternatives where we get a larger cut of, say, advertising money. Now, if you become more like what TSU tried to do and more like what Minds.com and Steemit are doing, not exactly the same perhaps, but making it so that the majority of the money is split in a way where we are actually paid what we're worth, basically. If you do that, then the ideas like what I'm giving you are going to pour out of the woodwork from the hive, basically. The hive mind's going to give you all sorts of ideas to make your platform much, much more successful. I've got more ideas, but I feel like if I can't even have freedom of speech protected, my art protected, my show, then there's no point in me sharing my ideas with you any further. And I'll just share them with Minds.com founders instead, because they're trying to do what they have their heart in the right place, so to speak.
I'm gonna head to bed.
That's a not uncommon reaction to that policy. Thanks for
It's not a
playing.
reaction to anything you're saying.
No, I know. It's just what I always say, because especially if I'm on like a tangent for 45 minutes or something and like people's brains are melting, I'm like, yeah, like that's a not uncommon reaction to that policy. Poor Robo, he's like, I'm fucking out. But anyway, I guess that's all I got for you, support Team Aaron, for now. And I'm gonna make this a highlight, and I'm gonna share it with tons of people. Put it all over social media. Try to make it go viral. Like, do you have any questions for me?
Alright, good night.
Alright, sleep well. Dream of big-titted women.
I will.
I know. And Black Eyes is here. You came in the
Hi,
middle
buddy.
of my... Yeah, what's up, guy? And Stoned, are you still with us?
Oh yeah.
Alright, cool. Cool. So I was just making sure. I guess what, were you guys just like absorbing everything?
Fuck, everything you said just went past my head. I don't even know what you're talking about, dude.
I know. Not uncommon reaction to that policy, honestly.
That's fucking sweet, dude.
But yeah,
Man,
I
my
would love...
concentration's so fucking off. I hate this shit.
Well, I recommend that you get checked out, see if you got ADHD or ADD.
I do, bro.
Get you some meds. Get you some meds. Fucking, it helps. Does. Be responsible. Make sure you keep your tolerance really low. Start
bro.
slow, stay small,
Nah,
stay
bro.
safe.
You've never
Wear a
done drugs
condom.
before. You've obviously never done drugs before.
No, I have, and
Just
I've
playing,
I have. I've realized that moderation doesn't even begin to cover what you want to do with it. It's like people are like, I'm a real man, I can do 50 shots. Well, if you were a real man to me, if you were smart, you would figure out a way to get drunk off a half a shot and then not fuck your liver up and keep your tolerance really low and not be drunk all night uncontrollably and do stupid shit. Just control yourself, control your buzz. That's a real man right there. Be an efficient drunk. Come on, at least. Or don't drink at all because it's garbage. How about that one? Do some sativa dominant herb and a cup of coffee. Now you're talking. But at any rate,
Right, I got me some straight sativa dab.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
it's a pretty efficient way to do it.
Bah!
You know,
Slap
you
that
get
nigga down.
you get a lot of THC for a very small amount of carbon, and you know it doesn't hurt your lungs that bad, all that shit. So that's kind of cool. Oh, you bastard with your
Gonna
BFG.
eat this guy.
Mr.
Where you
BFG, are you
I'm
compensating
feeling
for something? that BFG compensating for something?
I
Oh my
wish this guy
god.
could throw fireballs. That'd be cool. Like in the campaign.
Like jump on turtle shells? Or, yeah, turtles.
Turtle shells. What the fuck?
Yeah. Get an extra man.
What's up, buddy? Shoot at me. Ah, no, we're off.
So yeah, support team Aaron probably dipped out a long time ago. He's like, alright, this guy's going off on a tangent, I'm out. Either that or he's in
Bullshit.
here going, do we need to ban him? Do we need to ban him? And like, I stimulate other people to say some pretty crazy shit too, so I'm like the instigator of crazy shit that your grandmother doesn't think should ever be spoken. And then people come in my party and they say crazy shit. Oh, he was ready for that one. He was. What do I want to do here? Let's do some counterintelligence. Either that or support team Aaron's like, you know, I thought this Doom game sucked, and I'm watching him play, and I realize it's actually better than I thought it was.
They should make
All
a game mode
mesmerized.
where there's like one demon and it's free for all. The demon hunt. Yeah, bro.
Ah, fuck me. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Oh,
You said something about
Just make
Demon
some-
Hunt?
they should make some kind of like free for all game mode called Demon Hunt, where there's one demon, like you know, and you hunt
I
him
thought of
down
that
like
too.
a juggernaut, like that. That'd be
Right.
fucking cool.
Yeah, I thought of it the very first time I played it, and I've been telling people to do it. And everyone who does Snap Map, I've been telling them to make a free-for-all where the demon's on all the time and we fight over
shit.
it. It's killer. It's a killer idea.
It is, bro. They should consider that. That's fucking down.
Right?
Fucking
The guy I'm
BFG's
talking to
bullshit.
here is, he works for Twitch. So he's asking if Twitch is good and, like, if I would, you know. You guys got any advice for Twitch? Like, as a viewer? Oh, well, the Twitch app, now that I think about it. I need to be able to see the timestamp on people's texts. Sometimes someone will say something to me and it was like 2 minutes ago and they left. And other times, you know, they said it to me 5 minutes ago, but they're still there. And I need to know if one, when they said it, and if they're still there.
Baron, or go home, dog.
It would be helpful. It's minor shit. Here I am, I'm like, I'm not gonna give you any more good tidbits, no more. Like, I've given you my demands, my list of terroristic demands as an American wants freedom of speech protected. I mean, what? You're not gonna protect freedom of speech because you don't have to? Well, okay, technically, legally, you don't have to. You can tell me to, like, only talk about pizza and the video game and never talk about anything else. You could ban me every time I did. You could. But that would be pissing on the memory and the death of every soldier. My grandfather who got his eye blown out. Like, every soldier that's ever died for our freedom. Everything we did to get away from Britain and democracy and capitalism and freedom, the American way, you're pissing on all of it. So, like, I don't think it's a good move. It's only a matter of time before people wise up and realize that the whole telling people what they can and can't say, being able to give popular opinion and policy the right to tell people what they can and can't say, eventually that's going to become an enemy to everyone. When they realize it, it'll be bad for business. It'll scar the business name. So it's like right now the business is trying to
BFG down there.
make sure that it caters to the majority, so much so that they get this instant reward. But in the long run, it's going to bite them in the ass and end the company. And I mean, I suppose if you're like, well, it'll be okay, we'll still have enough sheep. Yeah, you'll still make money maybe, or even the worst case scenario,
Bruh?
they have to end the company, take all their profits, and just make a better version of it. It pops up like 6 months later, and it's kind of, then your business turns into a macrocosm
Looking behind
of
you.
my microcosm.
Gotcha.
My microcosm being that I get banned, and then
So,
I have to make another profile, right, and start again.
Shoot
But
at
I
me,
carry
brother.
all my, like, all the customers basically with me.
What are you
And it's the
doing?
same thing if a business fails, and then people made a whole bunch of money, but then it gets like ruined by,
I died.
like, Facebook is about to be one of those things that only religious and sheep use, like, and everyone who's like free thinking, cool guy, rebel type person, rock and roll, Charlie Sheen, they're gonna leave Facebook and look down upon it. I mean, I already do. And I don't want Twitch to have that happen to them and become the Facebook of broadcasting.
Balls.
YouTube and Google is kind of authoritarian. Yeah, it looks like it broke. I'm gonna back out just to save time. Start the game again. Just join me here in a second.
Show.
Yep. And I've been trying to help Google and YouTube because they do have a great platform. They've whittled it away, just like you guys have whittled away at your platform, making it better, gradual steps over time. And now it's this polished gem of a platform. You guys are probably really proud of it. And it's in danger of losing its grip by not evolving to emergent phenomena, not adapting to what people are demanding. You can join me now. Whoever.
I'm coming.
So I've been trying to help YouTube and Google. I've been telling them all this stuff too. They banned me recently on my Google Plus profile, and I basically told them everything that I told you. Like, I wasn't going to grovel and ask for it back. I said, no, this is war,
let's play.
basically. And so I said, look, either help us to do what we want, or we won't ever be teammates again. This is the way it works. And I would much rather, I like YouTube, I like Google Plus. I think they're great platforms, and I like Twitch. I think that all this effort we as people have put in to chiseling it away and making it this really comfortable thing that we like using, I don't want to start over. I don't want to go back. It's taking steps backwards. You need to be taking steps forward. Companies need to get better at predicting emergent phenomena, which, shamelessly plugging my LLC abstractions, which I do business consulting. I apply permaculture design to business. Make your business more efficient from what I learned from this really weird hipster gardening tactic, basically. It's a philosophy, but it's a strategy. And then, of course, I've got my own thinking that I bring to the table. I study emergent phenomena, and I predict a lot of things that will happen in very abstract systems, and I see things that other people don't see. And I don't even know how to market my consulting, and I don't know even a price to offer the services for. But it's only a matter of time before some company realizes that somehow I know things and I become valuable in some capacity. I do know business pretty good. Watched a lot of college lectures, and got a business mentor. And mostly, I'm a thinker, a think tank type person. Lateral, multi-dimensional cause and effect analysis is my bag. Probability fields, fluctuating possibilities of fluctuating probabilities. And it's all changing as we study and observe, and then we change and we manifest something new. More possibilities occur from that. And then knowing all the cause and effect that allowed it to happen, and knowing a bunch of other cause and effect that's going on at the same time in the systems, then you can predict many trends that are going to be applicable to pretty much everything from all of this. And I'm pretty sure I can teach people how to do this too. So maybe that's what I need to do, is teach your people how to do what my brain does. You can learn it. Anybody can learn it. But again, I don't know how to market that. Shit, I'll give it away for free even. I just want the world to function smoother at this point. Again, I got better things to do than fix every issue with every single thing, even though I feel like I probably could. It would be like whack-a-mole, where it's a better idea if I try to do something that affects massive change and help people to do what my brain is doing so that they can kind of iron out a bunch of stuff that they find more important as well with the same methods. I think that's it. Like, I can't even run a business because I don't subscribe to capitalism. I don't subscribe to ownership of a thought or a mind. Like, nobody does anything alone. We don't. It's all group thinking. Had to learn thoughts, the piles of thoughts came before its crest of the wave of consciousness is what you're interacting with now, philosophically speaking. Matter and energy flowing, recording knowledge and passing it, working the puzzle. The puzzle may be innumerable things. It's always about path of least resistance, more comfort, more calories to spare. We're trying to make everything easier. And so, yeah, so right back to tie all this in, fighting with each other over anything at all does not make things easier. This is just very basic sense. The whole world needs to stop fighting. But right now, that's the norm. I mean, look at the game I'm playing. It's competitive. We're fighting. We're killing each other. It's violent. Go to school. You're playing sports. Grades are pitting each other against, who get a better grade, or comparative. You're getting an A compared to another score, which is a B, and everyone is pitted against each other constantly. Capitalistic system, it's the same deal. Soon as you enter it, you turn people into adversaries. You got the regular worker who's a pawn, and I'm almost a pawn in this system. I'm a pawn talking to a bishop or something. I don't know, whatever piece you'd like to assign yourself there, Aaron. So, I'm a pawn, and I'm actually competing for space on the board with other pawns. Other pawns are my enemies in this highly competitive market of selling whatever, obesity theory, wasteful, diarrhea of the mouth entertainment, while like a sport at the same time, because the video game is like a sport. So like, just that, I'm competing for space on the board with other pawns. And other pawns don't like what I do, maybe they're intimidated by what I do, and they try to cut my throat to remove me from the board so I'm no longer their competition. And the systems that you guys have in place, and maybe not I don't even know how Twitch really implements their rules and how often they ban people for what. That lack of clarity is a problem. Like, just the fact that they can do it, knowing that they can do it, basically just makes it that they will do it. You have to pretend that they will do it. You can't say, oh, well, maybe they won't do it because of this or that. Like, again, it just makes it hard for me to invest. All this shit needs to change. This is really just, it's not even, the issue isn't even that, if you're curious, if anybody's curious, the issue isn't even that they're trying to make money even necessarily. It really comes down to core psychological perspective that of authoritarianism and like wrath of God mentality and like respect my authority and do what's right. Like this whole idea of morality and good and evil, or purity and sin, innocent and guilty. All of this shit is bifurcation logical fallacy. None of it even makes any sense. And the more we cater to people's want to pretend that it does make sense by like allowing them to have systems and social media that get to arbitrarily decide who is bad and who is good, and then they are removed from the system. I mean, that's fucking hurting people over logical fallacy, which to me seems kind of insane. I don't know, like, I've never fit in all of society even. Like, you can't tell me what to do ever. Even when I was 5 years old, you couldn't tell me what to do. Never. Like, I would never allow it. And school is even worse. So I couldn't do school. But then you just like give me all the college lectures, and I don't even really need to ask any questions. I've had to ask a physicist one question so far, and I've got a couple that I want to ask, and I've got a couple questions for some neurologists at this point. But most of the people in those fields don't know the answers to the questions that I have. And the ones that do, I don't even know, can't get a meeting with them, can't talk to them. At any rate, I don't need school. School needs me. I don't need Twitch. Twitch needs me. Social media in general needs us all. And that's the way I want Twitch to be, is something that we use to teach each other stuff. It's a free exchange, and you make thoughts have value, really. And I would like to have just one profile that I do everything on and not have to worry about it getting banned. That way I do my music, live broadcasts for my music, and do live broadcasts for this, and do live broadcasts for just talking to people and them asking me questions, what I think about this, that, the other thing. Just hanging out with the people who have met me. That's what we need here. It's all bullshit. All bullshit! Call it.